Good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dexter, and I welcome you to the Mango Grove for your daily analysis video. It's a brand new week, and it's a beautiful Monday outside. I want to wish you all a happy, profitable week ahead of you. And in today's video, we are actually going to be starting off with a brand new coin that we haven't covered before, but we've been keeping an eye on for a very long time. And that coin is YFI. We're going to be covering it today on the Bitcoin pairing. And I do think that many of you are interested in this coin, right? A lot of interest, a lot of excitement over this coin. And hey, rightfully so, the trend has been strong on this one. And you guys know, at the Mango community, we love our strong trending coins, giving us beautiful, trending, easy, stress-free trade opportunities. And this one is definitely a strong contender. But why today? Why are we covering it today and not any other week, right? Essentially, one of the big reasons is that I woke up this morning and I got multiple questions from people asking me how I was able to figure that YFI is likely going to come and test 3.3 and not all the way down to this structural level over here at around 3.0 BTC, right? For those of you who missed yesterday's video where we covered Bitcoin, Chainlink, and Ethereum, between the Bitcoin and the Ethereum video, I believe I briefly covered YFI, right? We discussed how YFI could be a good guide and a gauge for us as to market sentiment, and we looked at the chart very quickly, and I was like, if YFI wants to be aggressive with its trend and continue its aggressive trend, it's likely going to bounce off this level over here, defend the 3.3 level, as opposed to coming all the way down to the 3.0 level, right? And this coin has been shown, or rather it's been showing a profile of being an aggressive trend. So no surprise over here, coming down to that 3.2 level, testing it and bouncing off towards the upside. So in today's video, I'm just going to go ahead and explain my mindset as to how I was able to come up with that level by simply glancing. Now, I do want to emphasize that you guys don't need to be able to just look at the chart and come up with a level, right? You don't start off your trading journey that way, which is why I always tell people that, hey, you're going to hear a lot of hype over price action, but don't let that get to your head. In my opinion, price action is the last thing you learn, and in fact, it is a consequence of everything else that you learn over time, right? Price action just comes automatically. So for example, the first things you need to learn are things like your support and resistance, your candlestick analysis, your trend analysis, hell, even just using an indicator to keep your analysis more objective rather than subjective and discretionary is far more important in the beginning than jumping on over to the fancy stuff like price action. Far too many traders starting off their journey want to jump on over to the complex before understanding the simple foundational concepts. And it's surprising, like even when you search for information out there on the foundational concepts, it's hard to find because everybody wants the complex, fancy, shiny new technique to make money in the markets. But hey, you don't really need any of that, right? So in today's video, we're just going to go over some simple combination of various tools and yeah, put it all together and essentially do what I did with Chainlink in the previous videos, right? We broke down Chainlink on the lower time frames. When we can't look at YFI on the weekly time frame because there isn't enough price action, not on the Binance chart at the very least. So we're going to look at the 4-hour, the 12-hour, and the daily. Okay, perhaps only up to the 12-hour if we are using an indicator. But let's start with support and resistance first on the 4-hour time frame, and we'll then move on to trend analysis. Now, very quickly glancing, we can look at the structure over here that broke on over to the upside right over there. We can even draw a trend over here for those of you who are not seeing it, right? A nice little ascending triangle like formation. We had multiple actually that you could have traded if you were interested in. We had one within it as well. Broke on over to the upside, tested, broke the upper formation, and hey, within that too we had a, let's go ahead and hide the current price action, right? So let's say we're just looking at this. How would you analyze this? Well, broke on over to the upside, came back, double topped over here. Look at these two wicks, these two double tops. That's giving you a sign, it's giving you a fingerprint, it's giving you a blueprint as to what this chart likes to do, rather what this asset likes to do. And you keep that in mind, you note it down or keep it at the back of your head, and then keep trading the chart, guys, which is why this is one of the reasons why I like to trade charts that have price history, because it gives you a fingerprint of what it may want to do moving forward, and that adds to your edge. Once it stops doing that, you know that, hey, this chart is doing something different. Maybe the trend might be wanting to reverse as well. Maybe I want to get out. But right over here, that was our first sign. You can even see similar structure over here, guys. Another bull flag like formation, right? Boom. Some consolidations before impulsive moves are going to take longer. Some are going to take shorter. So this period over here, let me go ahead and pull out my, where is it? There you go. This period over here was a lot shorter than this entire period over here, right? Let's go ahead and remove that. And then again, we had something similar over here. You can go ahead and mark it out for you guys. Boom, right over there. And boom, okay. So we had another very, very short consolidation over here on the 4-hour, giving people an opportunity to continue trend trading this trend if they wanted to. Look at the wicks, guys. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows each time, right? Each one of the lows on each one of these 4-hour candles was higher than the previous candle. That's bullish. That's something you want to keep an eye on. So you could be buying the consolidation just based on that, and the fact that we are in an overall bull market in this period, at least when we were over here. Overall bull market. Hey, in my opinion, by the way, we are still in a bull market, but that's a conversation for another time. That being said, we broke on out to the upside, right? But let's say you missed the consolidation, you did have the breakout buy over here too, because we closed a 4-hour candle above the structure. You also took out the wick over here. Everything was looking really, really good. But people were telling me, hey, why would I buy this coin? It is so expensive. It is 1 BTC and 1.67 BTC. That is ridiculous. And my answer to that was, the price of the coin is completely irrelevant when you are trading. All right, the price is irrelevant. What matters is what the chart is telling you. If you're looking at this chart over here, let's say you did not know that this was a YFI BTC chart, and I told you that, hey, this is SXP, right? For example, that's trading against the USD pairing. You'd be looking at this and be like, you'd say, hey, this is $1.68. This could go all the way up to $5. Why not, right? And you'd be looking at the chart and say, hey, this is fine. This is not parabolic. But people were calling Wi-Fi parabolic, not based on the chart, but based on its price. And we know what it did after this, right? $1.68, rather, Bitcoin and 68, 1.68 BTC seems like a steal now, right, for Wi-Fi. So yeah, always look at the actual chart as opposed to looking at the number that it is trading at. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this just to keep the chart a little bit clean. Now after this, it broke on over to the upside, had continuation, and this is where it gets a little bit more difficult, right? Again, we're going to hide the price action that came after and just analyze this. What went on over here? Again, you had like a little consolidation, right? Symmetrical triangle, broke on out to the upside, but this is where it gets interesting. Look at the difference between this region over here, guys, where we broke the consolidation towards the upside, but on this double top, when we rejected, we got supported at the previous level, correct? Correct? But this level was important. Again, here we had a double top that we can go ahead and mark out. Got rejected, came down, but broke back into the consolidation. Now that is your sign to be like, okay, you know what? Things are a little bit different here. This may either one, go into consolidation again, or two, have a pullback, and maybe I want to start taking some profits and reposition lower. So you clearly saw profit taking. You clearly saw people getting out of the positions, especially after we took out this low over here at 2.32 BTC. That was the big sign that, hey, this trend might want to go at least in a short-term downtrend, right? Because we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, because we lost the 4-hour uptrend right over here. As soon as we took out this low, the 4-hour uptrend was done, and we'd be looking not for a new high over here. We'd be looking for a lower high as soon as this happened, correct? Now, for those of you who are on the Mango C program, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and this should come intuitively to you guys. If not, please go ahead and watch the advanced trend analysis module again and again, okay? I've broken it down very, very simply for you guys over there with a long, detailed explanation, so it should come intuitively to you guys. If not, watch that module again. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm gonna try and find the time to make a more condensed version of that. I'll try and find the time. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would appreciate something like that, because the last thing I want to do is make content for people who aren't interested in the content, right? Okay, so going back to what I was talking about, we took out this low over here, and as soon as that happened, we're looking for a lower high. We're not looking for a new high, right? And where would we be looking for our lower high? One of two regions. Either a test of this region over here for a double top, but hey, wait a minute, we already double topped off this region, right? We tested once and we tested again. Now, yes, we could get a triple top, but how often do you see it? So if we are not looking for a double top, then what's the most likely level that we can look for this asset to come and test before putting in a lower high? Remember, we are not oracles here. We are traders. We play the probability. We don't try to predict any certainty. So what is more probable after this low was put in, taking out this low? If we were to come and test a level, well, we could go ahead and mark a couple. One would be here, which we actually came and did. And you could go ahead and mark out a zone if you wanted to be a little bit more safe if you're looking for an exit, right? Now, this time around, you did get away with being a little bit more aggressive, and you'd be getting a nice exit at around 3.05 BTC, right? So for the purposes of keeping this chart clean, I'm going to go ahead and just remove that horizontal right over there, and we came and tested that level really well, and boom, came in and put in a new low. Now we can go ahead and zoom out to see what price did after that, right? Now here's the thing, this is where I'm saying that, hey, this asset is showing me signs of strength that's very similar to Chainlink, because if I was looking for this to come down further, I'd be looking for it to actually come down and test this structure over here eventually, right? If I was looking for this to get picked up after this downtrend started. Did it do that? No, it didn't. So what would have happened over here would be a lot like what happened to me on Chainlink, where I was expecting it to come down and fill this area over here, but instead it got front run. Now, because I have experience with Chainlink, I got some of my position filled on that dump, and not my entire position, but I got some of it filled. But if I was trading Wi-Fi, I would have missed out on this. But if I missed out on this, that wouldn't get me annoyed. That would get me thinking, damn, this is a strong asset. It got front run before it hit its structural support region, right? So let's go ahead and remove this now. Right, and this horizontal here, we're going to pull up and put it right over there, because this wick low now is going to be really important moving forward if Wi-Fi does have a more prolonged downtrend and comes down to test major levels. This level will be an eye to keep on, okay? Will be important for us to keep an eye on. All right, so now let's zoom out and see what happened after this, and boom, boom, boom. We came, put in some resistance again over here, as you guys can see. Got a little bit pushback, but we did not take out this previous low, right? If we took out this previous low over here at around 2.75, then we could have looked for the downside and perhaps test 2.71. But no, what did we do instead? We came and pushed right through it, saw rejection again at this major level at 3.39, 3.38, 3.39, and then again consolidation, boom, push through. Now you guys are seeing how I came up with that level, right? It's as simple as that. And again, we're consolidating on top of that. Now you're seeing trend analysis combined with candlestick analysis, combined with me using support and resistance flips, right? Because remember, this was resistance. This was resistance. It flipped into support. Support flips into resistance, and vice versa. When the levels are cleared, you can either look for multiple candle closes or look for a single candle close if you want to be more aggressive. All right, so what's going on now? Well, the 4-hour trend is still in an uptrend, right? All we did was put in a higher low over here compared to this low over here, and now the question is, are we going to put in a higher high compared to 4.20 BTC? It's looking really good, guys. It's looking really good. Does it need to do it on this up thrust? No, it doesn't. But the trend on the 4-hour is still up and strong, right? We can go ahead and hide all our horizontals and just look at the 12-hour quickly. And 12 hours looking even better. Put in a low over here, 3.17, essentially what we talked about just in yesterday's video, right? Testing that 3.25-ish region. Dipped down a little bit lower, but that doesn't matter. What's the move anyways from yesterday? Let's say that's a good 21% move. You can go ahead and look at the mango ribbon quickly. South mango ribbon. How's it doing? Looking really, really good. Let's look at the Mango dynamic too. I want to see if it's tighter. Yes, it is tighter. In fact, it gave you a really, really nice test over here too, or rather a nice consolidation indication right over here, telling you, hey, be a little bit more patient before you get back into this trend. Broke on up to the upside over here, gave you a nice test, and now trend continuation, right? I really, really like this chart. I really like the structure of Wi-Fi. It's a strong trading asset, and these are the kind of assets we want to keep an eye on at the Mango community moving forward, because it shows that, hey, there's a nice community behind this. There are nice consistent market participants behind this who are looking to buy this as a opportunity on every dip. Okay, so yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing over here. We can clear everything. Should we look at the daily? Let's go ahead and look at the daily real quick. And the daily has been in a consistent uptrend. Right, we had a little bit of a hiccup over here, where we did put in a low and then took out the low over here, but almost immediately continuing its trend towards the upside. And yeah, now this is looking like consolidation too. Could turn into a bull flag breakout. Overall though, I think it's the 4-hour chart that's going to give us our best trade opportunities. To be honest, this is looking really good. I'd be expecting some resistance on the first test of 4.20 BTC, then put in a high low compared to 3.15. But to be honest, that would be a little bit too easy of a trade, putting in a nice long consolidation. But hey, who knows, right? This could be generous. If we start closing multiple 4-hour candles above 4.20 BTC, the next psychological resistance would be what, 5 BTC? To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this eventually gets all the way to 10 BTC. The crypto markets can get euphoric, so don't discount anything. Don't discount anything, guys. I have no strong opinion on either of that. I'm going to be trading this based only on the charts. And hey, as of right now, currently resistance at 4.20 BTC, support based on candle closes at 3.40 BTC. We already talked about that, right? Let's go ahead and just turn on our horizontals really quick. And okay, cool. So we can use these lines that we've marked out as our recap going into the end of the video. If we start breaking 4.20 BTC, it does look like we're pushing up towards it as we speak. Then I'd be looking for continuation to the next psychological resistance, which is likely going to be around 5 BTC, right, per Wi-Fi, which sounds ridiculous, but hey, like I said, ignore the number over here. Pretend it is just $5 and trade it accordingly, right? Pretend this is only $5. Remember, you don't need to buy an entire Wi-Fi. That's where people get it wrong. You could buy a fraction of this thing, right? So your position size would be the same like it would be on any other asset. So don't let the price of the coin change how you trade the coin. Okay, so again, support at 3.4 BTC to around 3.2 BTC. If we break the zone over here, the zone is what's more important, guys. Let's go ahead and mark out the zone. We break the zone over here, then we can look for a push down to the middle of the range, which is probably around 2.4 BTC, and then eventually down to these candle closes over here to 2.08 BTC. But we want to hold that range. We want to hold at the very least 2.08 BTC. If we come and start testing this region over here at 1.8, remember, we talked about how 1.8 is going to be a key level. We don't want to lose that. You know, wick underneath that, and I'm not going to like the look of that at all. And eventually we could be looking for a test of 1.40 BTC, this major structure over here. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. This was more of an educational video. If you guys are interested in this asset, let me know in the comments down below, and I will go ahead and cover it more often and give updates on trade opportunities, etc., if possible. Again, this is not a call channel by any means, so I shouldn't have said trade opportunities, but we could do regular analysis on this coin if it does begin to show consistent trend, strong trend performance like it has been recently. My name is Sean Dexter. Throw it a like, throw it a subscribe. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, well, I'm going to be doing more videos today. I'm going to be covering Bitcoin, of course. So I'll see you guys in today's video. Until then, do it the Mango way, do the stress-free way. Ciao.